Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Dogs. I'm Susan Ellen Medium. I am an evidential psychic medium and animal communicator. This podcast is a place to share insights into the spirit world and soulful stories of animals and what they can teach us about a life aligned with love. So grab your mug and let's dive into some magic together.
Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Maria. And before we begin, we'd like to remind all of you to tune in wherever you listen every 1st and 15th because Susan drops a new episode on Coffee with Dogs. Also, if you can be so kind to give your star ratings, and if you can also share the podcast with your friends and loved ones. Thank you.
Hey,
Hi,
Maria.
Susan.
How are you?
Good. You look wonderful.
So do you, sweetheart. I got my coffee. Wow.
Yay. So we're going to be doing a podcast today about cats.
I know. I'm so excited because I've had cats. You've had cats.
Absolutely.
We need our cats. This is the first time I've been without a cat. I haven't had a cat in a few years, and I miss having a cat. And I think last night I said to my husband, I'm not used to not having a cat. Like cats are so important for the energy.
Oh, absolutely.
They're so special. And people think, do you not like cats? Why is your podcast called Coffee with Dogs? Well, there's a whole reason why it's called Coffee with Dogs, an experience that I had that one day you guys will read about. But for now, I just named my podcast that, but I talk to all animals and all life.
Yes, you do. And it's so beautiful that you're literally able to connect with horses and cats and dogs and probably every animal on this earth. So today, Susan's going to be talking about why cats have been called guardians of the spirit world for thousands and thousands of years.
When my cat stares at the corner of the room and his tail is flicking back and forth, they're seeing a spirit. That's a spirit that's there. And sometimes I can't, or I couldn't see what that cat saw. And the last cat I had, I said, was like the guardian of my house because it was the first cat I have ever had that didn't sleep with me on my bed or on my head. He slept in the living room. It was like so shocking to have a cat sleep in a separate part of the home. But I had always felt he was guarding. I woke up the morning of the full moon and then I saw him in my dining room. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. The most wonderful thing about that cat, he did not like to be pet. He's gorgeous. I think he was part Siamese. He's just the most gorgeous cat. So he lived to be about 17. And I was going very, very deep in my meditation practice. And he would literally jump on my lap when I was really high up. Not high because I don't get high. I get high from meditation. But when I was like at the level, and I used to say to myself, he would jump on my lap when I was where I'm supposed to be. That's how high you want to get when you do meditate. That's why I always say, don't give up on your meditation because the brain is in your head to think. Some of us get more thoughts than others.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be a brain. So I always say my meditation practice, which I taught you, right? I taught you this in
Yes.
mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Maria was one of my mentees, a brilliant mentee. When you start to have the thoughts in your head, you just go back to I am love and I'm light. I am love and I'm light. I am love and I'm light. Because that mantra gives your brain something to hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why transcendental meditation became so popular. But I don't want a mantra that I don't understand that isn't in English. And I want an Indian mantra. I want my mantra that says the I am, which I'm invoking God consciousness. I am love and I am light. Whenever we say the I am, you're invoking God. As he said in the Bible and everywhere, when we're invoking I am, we're invoking and saying, I am part of you, God. I am God consciousness. So that is the way to get your brain out of thinking. And even as a meditator. I can meditate now on coffee. I never did it. I never meditated on coffee. I couldn't,
Mm.
but I could drop in, even though I drink coffee. When I drop in and I get like a brain where it goes, oh, I got to do this today. I just go right back to my love and light, or I go
Yes,
back to connecting with the light, the love and the light of the universe, and
correct.
bring my consciousness higher and keep dropping in, because that's really how we change our brain, our souls, and go to the next level, is by taking the time to meditate in the morning.
And throughout the day, I find it as well when my mind does start jumping all over the place. The
Yes,
meditation that you taught me with my own mantras that I
right.
made for myself really
Good.
helped to ground me again
That's the whole point.
and
Yeah.
keep me on that frequency, the high one that you're talking about.
Yeah, because the brain is your ego and it will mess with you too, those
Mm-hmm.
thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And as a medium, when you're getting like too many thoughts coming in, because I have a lot of clients say, I just can't stop my brain. And you can stop your brain and you can control the thinking by using a mantra and dropping into meditation or even breath work.
What first made you connect with cats? Did you specifically have a particular cat in your life?
When I was a little girl, I was feeding a cat and I named it Fifi in my garden. I think I was like 4 or 5. And it kept coming around and coming around. But that was like my first cat. And then I had another cat, and that's a whole nother story that I'll save. But the cat that I think was the game changer for me was a cat named Devo. I thought it was a girl, so I named her Diva. And then I realized it was a boy, and I named him Devo, which would be the masculine in Italian, right? And he was the love of my life, and he was a treasured, treasured soul. And I often laugh that I think he's the reason why I met my husband, because he was on
Mhm.
a leash. And my husband came to fix my computer, and I wasn't looking for a boyfriend. We were just laughing and getting along, and the cat was on a leash. And I said, I got to go put my cat to bed. My husband said something about the cat being able to sleep with me. And I thought, oh, I think he might like me. So we often joke about this cat getting us together.
Yeah,
Isn't that cute?
that's
And then
cute.
a couple of weeks after he passed, his really, really special cat, a big black tomcat with green eyes, that
Mm.
yes, he was an outdoor street cat in Venice. Somebody took him and got him fixed and they put him back on the street. But I was very leery of the block, and I didn't want him to get run over by a bike rider. And I just fell madly in love with this cat. He'd wait on my porch. I'd walk home from work and he would jump in my lap and he would hug me, both
Oh,
paws around my neck. There was a real relationship. So this one night I came home and it was raining and he was crying. And I remember opening up the mail slot,
yeah.
and I said to my now ex-husband, it's been 20 something years, I said, get the laundry room ready. He's coming in. And my husband knew I meant business. Like, this cat's coming in. But we already had 2 cats we took from New York. And that was our first tiny apartment in Venice Beach. But I let him stay in the laundry room and he became part of my cat world.
Mm.
So this cat was always trying to get out. And the people that tell me I could never make an outdoor cat an indoor cat, try. It does work. Because then I would be able, like, it took years, but I was able to bring him in the backyard and he knew not to leave. So we lived together this amazing life. I ended up with my husband. And when the cat transferred to the spirit world, about 2 weeks after he went to spirit, um, this is a very psychic thing that had happened to me. I
Mm.
was sleeping. It was Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day was Monday. And it was like the middle of May. or the end of May, and I was having a visceral dream and he was spinning in my third eye. Like something was bothering my third eye. I was sound asleep and I couldn't wake up. It was crazy. And it's like almost to the point of being uncomfortable. And I felt like that was an awakening of the psychic. Do you understand?
Yes, an activation.
And it was, yes, that's the best word for it. And I treasured that moment. And then when I opened up my eyes, the ceiling in my bedroom, when I was able to open my eyes, I was like, wow, that was visceral, was
Mhm.
all smoky and clouds and everything.
That sounds really, really amazing. So now, do you think that cats can sense energy or spirit, I would say, more readily than we can?
Yes, if you're not attuned, like if you're not meditating, you don't do this work. And even if you don't do this work, if you're highly sensitive and you have the gifts, but you're afraid to launch yourself, email me. I have mentorship. I'll teach you. What I would suggest for this is that trust your cat because cats know even before you do about somebody. So just watch the reaction of your cat when somebody comes in. It's really, really important that we trust the animals because they're elevated
Mhm.
beings. The Egyptians knew how powerful cats were. They would, bury their cats. I read somewhere that if somebody accidentally killed a cat, they would be put to death, even if it was an accident, because cats were such an elevated source of spirit and spirituality.
Now, what have you observed in your work as far as a cat picking up on their human's emotional, physical state before the human realizes it themselves?
Have you ever noticed like your cat would jump in your lap at the moment that you needed to hear that cat purr to calm
Yes,
down your energy, right?
all the time.
They're almost more powerful than dogs in that sense. Dogs will look at you like, what's going on? And their tails might go down if you're having a specific energy run through your body that isn't good for you. But a
Mhm.
cat will act as almost like a shaman or an MD. Well, I don't know about MDs, but shamans. And it would jump on your lap and start to purr. And you can feel that frequency and your heartbeat would almost go to the frequency that the cat's purr was at. So that's why cats are really important, and I miss having a cat. It helps.
Now, there's an old saying that cats choose us, just
All
like
the
dogs.
animals choose
Mhm.
us. Yeah.
Now, do you believe there's something intentional on a soul level with that?
I believe any animal that comes into your life is meant to be with you. My whole life is been about animals. I mean, I haven't worked with animals my whole life. I've had a gazillion different careers and professions that never stuck, but here we are, right? This one's sticking because I really believe that animals come into your life as a soul contract and a purpose. So their lives have a purpose from the beginning to the end of their life with you here, but they never stop being a guide and they never stop being around you. That's what I really feel. It's mission based. It's like we chose to come back now during this crazy time because it's a brilliant time because we're going to it every day. We're moving higher and higher, even
Yeah.
though you feel like you're not. It's the energy right now, and the veil is so thin
Mm-hmm.
that even your average bozo is able to manifest like something at their front door, right?
Yes.
And so I want people to be very, very conscious because thoughts are really things. So we want to keep our mental and emotional vibration high. Like even, that whole movie, The Secret, that everybody said was such a bozo movie, and everybody was doing, these boards and vision boards and all that. There's something to it, where if you feel high frequency and you could get yourself into that space, you would be very surprised at what you can manifest in your life. But it's really all about, your thinking on a daily basis. Thoughts are things. You're always telling your body, your cells, and you could make your life hell or heaven just by the thoughts that you think and the way that your body feels from the thoughts that you think. Because every feeling that you have, there was a thought behind it. So you can decide to feel great, or you can decide to feel like crap. So we have to get a handle on our emotions and our emotional triggers.
Now, how can someone start to strengthen their intuitive connection or communication with their cats or their pets?
I love this. And I love this question. It's just getting up in the morning without coffee yet and quieting your minds and doing your mantra. I'm love and I am light. I'm joy and I am hope. And then I go to, I feel joy. I feel hope. I feel love. I feel light. And then you finish with, I am love and I am light. And very simple words. I'm love and I am light. And stay in that vibration for like 15 or 20 minutes and get a journal and start to communicate with your cat and or dog, and just put their name at the top of the page with the date and send them a lot of love, because love is the connection. That's how we communicate with the spirit and the soul, is love, sending so much love. This is how I started my whole practice with animals. Is I didn't know if that animal wanted to talk to me. It was scary for me. I wanted to help people and help the pet, and I would just send them so much love and say, I'm an animal communicator. Do you want to talk to me so I can help your parent? I'd send them so much love, and then all of a sudden I'd feel the energy, and then I'd start to write in my journal. That's kind of how I started this whole thing. So that's what I teach. I teach people how to do what I did. Because what else do we have to teach but our experience of what we have learned?
Absolutely. Yes. It's almost like a hand-me-down of knowledge and wisdom.
Because the only thing that we can really give is our gift of what we learned, right, in life. And like when you teach a child, you teach them the good, the bad, and what you learned, right? Hopefully.
Yes.
Yay. Thank you, Maria. This has been awesome.
Thank you. It was so nice having you, Susan. Let everyone know where they can find you.
It was so nice having you, Maria. I love you, and you're a wonderful co-host. So I'm at Susan Allen Media, and my podcast is called Coffee with Dogs, and it's on Spotify and Apple. I read all my reviews, and the best way to get me is on Instagram at Susan Allen Medium. Thanks for joining me for another episode with Coffee with Dogs. I'm your host, Susan Allen Medium, and I would love for you to write and review the podcast wherever you listen. This helps everyone find me. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. From my soul to yours, and from our animals to us all. Until we meet again.